Hi, my name is Lissy, and this is a very special video because I'm doing it for the first time. We are going to do something new. We are going to draw something with the brush of the month that I always release on the first of every month from a set that I already have. This month it's from the Nightfall Procreate Ultimate Real Inks. And we are going to draw a whale with this brush. As always, the brush of the month comes with a 15% discount code. So if you are watching it in April 2023, then look for the brush of the month download link in the description. And in that, there's a link to Nightfall with the discount code. So let's get into it right away. Here's a sketch that I did of what we are going to draw. This is just a rough idea that I sketched out, so I know where to take my drawing. We are going to make a new canvas. I usually work on 4000 by 4000, and I would recommend you to take a big canvas for this as well, as you never know if you will want to do something with the drawing later. I will copy this layer and go back to my layer so I can have this as a little reference on what will happen on this canvas, since this is really just a sketch on what I want to do. And I will lower the opacity a bit. You probably saw that unlike other brush of the month, this one comes in a little set because I already made the whale for you. So you can just stamp out the whale in the middle of the screen, and you can even do edit and then Jesus. You can do the selection or edit. Wow, Lissy, wake up. Sorry guys, I haven't drank my coffee yet. So you can either fit to canvas, but in this way it will be way too close to the edges. But if you are going for print on demand, then that's good. At this point I'm gonna say that this design I would rather you not sell, since it's kind of my design and I am putting it on my print on demand. But let's do it like this, and then lower the opacity, make a new layer above, and then we are going to start using the brush that came with this set and trace it out. I'm going to go and fill in as well, although you can do a trace and then use the bucket filling option too, but I rather that maybe there's some empty holes that's left. It gives a more traditional look, and I really like the traditional look when I'm drawing. So I am pressing down really hard on my pencil right now while I'm drawing, so it doesn't give the this kind of break-up effect. So I'm pressing hard to fill completely, and I'm pressing very lightly on the edges to get some texture on the edges. see on the reference that I decided to make the tail fins black as well, so I'm going to go ahead and do that too. This is also a really great exercise to just get a feel for your brush, like how much it affects how much you press down and what kind of texture it gives when pressing down and what kind of texture it gives when you don't press down as much. Right, I think I am done with the blocking out, and I am quite happy about how it looks as well. I'm realizing now that I like a bit smoother edges, but that's just my style. I am a very precise artist when it comes to edges or any details. I just really like precision, so for me it gives more of a professional vibe for my artwork to have smooth edges. We are going to do the bottom half of the whale, the belly, and I am going to still press a bit harder so it gives a smooth line without the broken up effect. And I'm seeing that there's a bit of a wobbliness here that I don't like, so I'm just going to erase it with a random eraser. I'm not really bothered by it, but I usually recommend that you use the same eraser as the brush that you are using. So to do that, the easiest way to do it is to long press the eraser, and now we use the same brush as our eraser as the one that we are drawing with. So it always will keep or retain that texture that you already had with this brush. I see that it's broken up here, but it kind of gives the inky vibe, so I am not too bothered by it. It looks kind of cute, but I am still not completely sure if I want this part to be so rough. Maybe I want it to be a bit more smoother. Like so. I'm going to make a point here with the little plus sign. You can make a brush save point, so you know what you used for a specific place or drawing. So I'm going to share it with my points that I made now as well, so you know exactly what I used on my 4000 by 4000 canvas. I'm sorry if you hear background noises, my family is unhinged. I'm trying to lock myself into a room, but it's not fully soundproof at all. So sometimes it just comes through, and I am terribly sorry about it. It usually doesn't bother me when I watch YouTube videos and someone says it, but I don't know, maybe it bothers someone, maybe that's why they say it. So please don't hate me for my family being loud. So I am done with this part, I think, and I think I am happy with how it looks. Looks quite cute, I think. So the next thing I would want to do is the bottom half of the veil, like this area. So I might want to do it on a different layer, and I might want to sketch it out first on which way exactly or how it exactly curves, so I am more confident with inking. So I'm gonna make a new layer and mark it out that it curves like this and this, always thinking in 3D. I have a video on that how to see the 3D objects and how to sketch this out on your own. So you should check it out if you want, and you can draw anything with that method, really anything. So feel free to check it out if you want, or if you are just bored or just looking for a different method to draw. So yeah, I think this looks good, and this will be my sketch, and I'm gonna lower it. And at this point I will start using my brush as a more of a broken up brush rather than something that is completely opaque. So I'm not going to press down fully, and also my hand is really shaky. So what you can do if you are also a shaky handed person, you duplicate the brush and then you go to stabilization and then put the streamline to, well, I'm gonna put it to 50% now, and then now you have a copy that is more streamlined, which means that it has a bit of a pull, so it allows you to be a bit shakier, and it will still make you a nice straight line instead of being all wobbly, as it were. I'm just going to go ahead and do these lines that I already marked out. I did not like that one, so I undid it. You can undo with 2-finger tapping. You probably know this, but if you don't, now you know. And what else I like doing is that I am blending in these lines that are touching the edge of a bigger surface, so it looks like a bit more bleedy. So it's bleeding from that area, not just randomly being there. As you can see, it's very pixelated now. That's because I'm really zoomed in. As you can tell, I'm really into the details, and I am really taking great care of how the details look like in my drawings. I'm sorry, that's just my way of drawing and the style that I usually go for. I am really into the precision. And I adore everyone who is not this pain in the butt with it, because that means that you are more of a, like, I feel respect that they don't feel like that they have to be perfect, because I don't think art is about perfection. And my art is always has to be about perfection, and that's something I'm still learning as an artist, how to let go of that perfection. I'm quite happy with how the bottom part looks like. As you can see, I'm again just what I mentioned right now. It's very perfect looking. It's very how to say this, very, oh my god, I can't do without perfection. I'm going to let go of these sketch layers that I will not use anymore, and I am going to start drawing plants. One thing to know about me and plants is that I draw a lot of them. So for me, I don't need to sketch them out. But if you feel like you can't or don't want to sketch the plants out, you should totally go ahead and do it, because it's better to not have the anxiety of, oh wow, what if it's wrong, or those kind of thoughts. So feel free to sketch it out. I will not sketch it. I will freehand this, and if I don't like it, I will just undo it. So that is my free-spirited artist way of looking at it. That's the only thing that's free-spirited about me. So I'm going to go ahead and draw some pretty plants. I will still do with the streamline on, because shaky hands. And shaky hands also not go well with plants. So I drew or sketched out some different kind of plants in the beginning on that. Well, can we call it ugly sketch? The one that I did in the beginning. So in the ugly sketch, I just planned out some plants that I want to draw. Some spiky ones and some round-leaved ones, and some that have berries on them. And I'm just going to replicate what I thought would look good as a composition at that time. So I'm not really putting too much effort in thinking, but when it comes to composition, I always like thinking about what I learned from photography, and I feel like I say this in every single video that I have, but I cannot stress it like enough that photography is such a great tool to learn about composition, since the subject is already there and you are using a tool to make those tiny little changes to capture something that is already exist in the wild. So you don't have the power. Well, technically you do have the power if you are doing still life photography, but if you are doing photography of something that you can't move around, you don't really have the power to put anything anywhere. So you have to move yourself around to make sure that the composition looks like something that is interesting for you and for other people's eyes. So I can't stress enough to try photography, try just going out, or when you are going out, just take your phone with you. It doesn't have to be a fancy equipment. And try do some photography on your own and see how that's going. I'm going to do this big stem first, because I want it to be in the foreground, and I want it to be very dominant in my picture. So I will go ahead and do this first. I just love drawing plants. They are so chill to draw. They are just leaf. Oh, this random undo is really bothering me. And no, it's not my pencil. It's some kind of Procreate bug. I don't know if you encountered it. It undoes what you're drawing, and then after that, it makes your brush really tiny, and then you can't see it. I don't know what it is, but it's really annoying. And especially when I make a really good line that I like, and then it does the undo. Oh, it's so annoying. So, plants are really chill to draw. I think it's really nice practice as well on how to make interesting compositions too. I have to turn off my reference to see how it looks like so far. I think it's pretty cute, but I might want to do some extra little plants on the forehead, or I don't know if this counts as a forehead of the whale, but I think it would help composition wise to have some here. And you can see that I'm already not really thinking about if my brush is broken up, so I don't really think about the brush strength. The less I press, the more texture it will give, and I am pressing a lot right now, but when it becomes like these inner parts, I just press really lightly. I will turn my reference back on to see what I decided on how to proceed, or what kind of plants to proceed with. This plant that I drew here, it looks more of a spiky plant, but I'm thinking now that it would look better if I would just go ahead and do the same kind of plant as this big one, since it would make a better composition. Oh wow, the amount of times I said composition, just please don't make it into a drinking game. That's my big fear, someone making a drinking game and get all drunk because I keep saying composition. Or little. I keep saying little too. But that's fine. That's me. Everyone has their own words that they keep saying, right? So those are mine, I guess, for now. Composition is not something I always say though. It's little that I say, we just do a little something here, just a little here, just a little there. And I'm actually fine with it. It's okay. I will make another stem next to this big one to complement the one that is big one, and I'm gonna do yet another one so it's in a tree, like it's 3 different stems right next to each other, because I think 3 looks so good when you have 3 things next to each other. So I just like having it in odd numbers. Let's see. I'm going to turn off the reference because I don't see again what I'm doing. And I'm going to go ahead and do some more spikier leaves on this side to balance it out, since on the other side there are spiky leaves. So I want to make it so like the same foliage is present on the entire thing. And you might have noticed that I make tiny leaves at the end as well. That's so that it blends in more with the veil, so it looks more natural. And I also want to make one of these berry kind of looking stems to tie them together to the beginning of the veil. The front of the veil. And let's turn on the reference. I did draw a moon on the reference, but I'm not sure right now if I want to proceed with that idea. So let's just continue with the leaves and then see if I like the idea of having the moon there. This is the creative process. Sometimes you just have to let go of something that you decided in the beginning, and that is all fine. It's fine for me, at least. Maybe an idea just doesn't look as good in reality than what you did as a sketch, and it happens, and you probably understand it as well. You are an artist, so you understand how this works. Sometimes I catch up on how weird my accent must sound like, and I always get the question of where I'm from. I am Hungarian. I'm from Hungary, where we have beautiful language and beautiful scenery, beautiful Baroque towns. You should check out the Hungarian cities. They are all very fancy looking ones, so if you can, you should do some Google Street View. Maybe it would inspire you to draw something of them. And our language is really hard to learn. It's one of the hardest ones in the world, apparently, for English speakers, and it goes vice versa. it is really hard for us Hungarians to learn English because it's so different from our language. But yeah, when people ask about my accent and I say that I'm Hungarian, they say that I don't sound like a Hungarian. Because somehow we are only 10 million people. I think maybe 9. I don't know. We just had a counting census. I think something like that in English. And I think we are only 9 million people. But somehow people always know someone Hungarian, and they say that I don't sound Hungarian, and I do not have a Hungarian accent. I have some weird combination of my fiance's Swedish heritage and not really sure what else, just not really Hungarian. Not sure if it's a good or a bad thing, or it's just a thing. Let's see how this looks. Oh, it looks very nice. Do you notice what's wrong with it though? What's wrong with it is that it's not centered, and that bothers me. So, we are going to center it. I want to move the canvas a bit up. I think it looks much better now. And I am really not sure if I still like that moon idea that I had. I thought it would connect the two parts of the veil together, since I want to draw stars on the veil itself to make it like a celestial one. But it kind of it feels like an unnecessary thing to do. I'm going to change to pure white for now though, and I'm going to make a new layer and do clipping mask on top of this black layer that I did, because I was gonna say cheat, but it's not cheating. I just want it to be more visible, and I don't want to worry about stray lines when I remove my background layer. I just want it to be the proper lines, because I'm going to upload this to print on demand. So I just don't want stray lines, so I'm going to clip it to the layer that is below it. I'm going to do the same plants as I did above, except they are not going to be tall as the ones on top of the veil, but just little hints that they are there, they are connected to the top. And this is some kind of hybrid plant. It has both of the leaves, but I really like how it's broken up the line, so I don't want to remove it. So I'm just gonna leave it as is. I feel like I don't show the full potential of this brush in this drawing because I'm pressing down so hard. But well, when you download it, since it's free, you can see it for yourself. You don't need my showing off of how it looks like when it's really broken up. I don't feel like so, at least. I feel like you experiencing it for yourself is more useful than just me showing off. Which is one of the reasons why I never really did tutorials, because I always thought that, well, it's easier for people to experience these kind of things for themselves than in the meantime, I merged the lines layer with these lines with the veil blackness because I want it to be smoother. So I don't feel like you need my guidance on experimenting, and I also don't want to that's one of my big fears, that what if I show you how I use it and then you will restrict yourself to that way of using it. And I'm all for artistic freedom. I think it's really nice when you get to experience things for yourself. It might coming from my gamer background that I like exploring and just looking at things on my own rather than getting a guidance from someone or telling me where to go or what to do. I hope I'm not sounding weird right now. I'm like, what is she talking about? Well, I'm sorry if I do sound weird. It's not my intention. I'm just trying to use this time to talk about things that are on my mind as well. So it doesn't feel like just, you're sitting here watching someone draw in total silence and there's no entertainment value, although I don't know how much entertainment this is, but I feel like it's a good thing to talk about these things. And for now, I feel like that these plants are looking good, and I am going to move forward, make a new layer, and I'm going to draw some stars. The way I draw stars is super simple. I just draw white dots. This is stars. This is stars for me. True story. They are very starry. Stars are one of the first things that I learned how to draw. Learned? I'm not even sure. Experimented to learn. I found that if you draw one big star and then draw 3 or 4 next to it that are kind of clustered, they look much better than if you draw kind of a pattern. I find that it's better to just make one big star, and then after that you don't press as hard with your pen, and then just make a little cluster next to it, and it looks a bit more natural since there are stars that are brighter and then stars that are further away from you. I was thinking if I want to draw an eye for this whale, and I added an eye to the sketch that you can stamp on in the beginning. But I feel like that this is kind of an artistic way of portraying a whale, and I do not want to have an eye. So I will not draw an eye. You are, of course, free to do so. But on mine, there won't be any eye of the whale. I still don't want to draw the moon, so feel free to draw the moon if you want. But I think this looks much better without. I feel like it's more focused this way. So I will not do it. I keep zooming out and see how I would like it, but I don't want the moon. I still just know. So I see I added some bigger stars. I will do that in the new layer because I'm not sure if I will like it in reality. I usually just draw these four-arm stars. Sometimes there are 2, 3 next to each other, and I'm not really worried about it having full opacity either. Like a little texture never hurt anyone. I don't feel like that it's a bad addition. I think it's fine. And now we are going to do some highlights. You can see it here. I am going to change my brush to big and just draw a line. Except I'm not sure if I can draw a line that I am happy with, in which case I'm just going to ditch the whole highlight idea. And I guess this is the beauty of drawing live, kind of live, because I did not draw this before, only sketched it out, so yeah, I think it's good, except for this part. I don't want that one. I think it looks cute. And I think it is done. The only thing that it needs, and it's really important, and you should do it on every single one of your drawings, is a stamp of my name. And you should always put your name on your drawings as well. Because we live in the age of Pinterest, and then someone will love your drawing, and then they will put it on Pinterest, and no one will know how to look at more of your drawings. So you should always put your name on it. And yeah, I will not change the background. Maybe a bit grayer. And what else you can do is add a new layer on top, and I will go add, and I'm using, why am I not typing? My iPad is betraying me. So I'm using Lisa Glance's seamless papers most of the times. I have some papers on my own, but most of my art, the ones that I love the most is the ones from Lisa Glance, and I swear it was the best paper purchase of my life, because they're so beautiful, and you can literally scare them forever. And I'm gonna put a link to it in the description, because they are wonderful. I mean, look how beautiful they are. Looks very pretty. So this is our drawing for this month with the brush of the month for April. And I'm going to, will I? Yes, I will remove this and just keep you with these two brushes. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, then maybe you want to consider getting Nightfall. Or if you already have Nightfall, then thank you so much for supporting me. It really means a world. You have no idea how much it means to me. And what else I wanted to tell you right at the end is that this month we are doing Vibrantophile on Discord and on Instagram, which means that we are going to use each and every color of this color palette that is seen on the screen right now and draw something with it or feature these colors. And I want to promote creativity with this and creativity in creating color palettes and also building up a daily drawing habit, because I feel like when I started doing daily drawing, it just, my skills just skyrocketed. I had zero experience in drawing when I started doing daily drawings 3 years ago. So I think it helped me a lot, and I want to promote this for people. And it's also, it doesn't have to be like big drawings that you do every day, just something small. Just pick up your pencil and draw for 15 minutes. So yes, this is a thing. We are doing it on Discord and on Instagram. If you want to join Discord for some motivation to do it, then you will find the link in the description. Otherwise, it's discord.gg/Lissy'sArtGarden. And I hope to see you. And I hope to see your creations as well, either the Vibrantophile one or the whale one. And tag me at Lissified and hashtag it's Lissified. And then I can see it and I can comment on it. And yes, maybe get some more eyes on your art. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for downloading my brushes. Thank you so much if you buy my brushes. That's like really nice. Thank you. And have a lovely day and a lovely week and a lovely month, and everything nice should come to your life. Bye!